Shakisha Thompson of Harrisburg was a pedestrian on Harrisburg's South Bridge.
A Lebanon County woman is dead after police say a car hit her while she was getting her mail.
York County police are searching for the driver. They say hit a pedestrian.
Police are investigating a fatal pedestrian accident.
Pedestrian was hit and killed by a vehicle early this morning in Perry County.
A man is dead after being hit by a car in Lancaster County.
In Cumberland County, police are looking for a driver they say hit a pedestrian.
Goodness, all those and more just in the mid-state, just in the past year. Not your imagination if you think pedestrian fatalities and injuries are on the rise. That is despite technology that was supposed to help. But another kind of technology seems to be hurting. Could a low-tech solution be the best hope? Here's Seth Kaplan.
All kinds of technology, like backup cameras with alarms. No surprise, pedestrian fatalities were falling. Not anymore.
In 2007, the iPhone comes out, pedestrian deaths go up, cyclist deaths go up, and the past couple of years, they've reached record levels.
Largely because of distracted driving, says Matt Fiorentino of Cambridge Mobile Telematics, which monitors driver cell phone use for insurance companies.
If you check your phone while you're driving on a highway, you travel the length of a football field. They're essentially driving blindfolded.
But the deadly trend reversal has happened only in the U.S., even though iPhones and Androids are just as popular here as they are elsewhere in the world.
And we found that drivers in the U.S. are close to 200% more distracted than drivers in the UK.
The United Kingdom. The most important difference there compared to here, according to Fiorentino?
Most of the drivers in the UK, similarly with across Europe, have a manual transmission vehicle. So they're using a stick shift most of the time.
Like me in my personal car, and unlike most Americans. The reason that matters?
People who have a stick shift are using their phone while driving around 30% less frequently than people with an automatic transmission.
And yes, that includes the minority of UK drivers who are more distracted than the majority there, and the minority like me here. It's not because we're better people. The reason?
You just don't have enough physical capability as you're driving. You don't have a third hand to text and drive. So this is the theory why manual transmission actually helps reduce distracted driving.
But manual transmissions, and those of us who can drive them, are becoming rare here in America. My friend David Forges decided to raise a new generation of stick shift drivers.
We're at soccer and I'm just shooting the ball with the other parents like you do on the sidelines.
Back before his daughters could drive, the mom of an older boy said she taught him to drive stick.
I'm like, okay, well, I learned to drive a stick.
That's how David and I got around Spain in this car we rented back in 1996.
My wife learned to drive a stick, but you don't really see a stick around very much anymore. But she says to me, you know, stick, you can't text, you can't use the phone, your friend can't borrow your car. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's brilliant.
So now, guess how his daughters drive. Ellie there has a phone, but not a third hand.
Even if it's tempting, there's nothing you can do about it. It's not a possibility.
Ellie, a rarity among her friends.
I have one friend who is actually our family friend, and Dad convinced them to get a stick. So I have one other friend.
Okay, so exactly 0 friends
fact,
who Dad did not convince to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
David convinced he can save lives by convincing other families to go low tech.
That's the whole point.
Seth Kaplan, ABC 27 News.
Look at him voicing his whole story from
He
his
always
car.
gets
He kept his eyes on the road.
And he gets the best characters
Yeah.
in his stories as well.
Serious